letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for stopping by today. Give you a little bit of an update.
Doc, I guess you got to call in again. We lost you.
Yeah.
That's weird. I can hear you for a second. Well, anyways, back to how you can listen to us. You can always go to letstalknutrition.com. Search us there. Go to youtube.com. That's weird. I hear myself.
If you guys want to connect on the stream, you guys can go to youtube.com or facebook.com. We stream it live every day. And you guys can also go to the podcast, wherever you guys want to listen to your podcast at. We're trying to get Dr. Michael Garko back on the line right now. Oh my gosh. I still have him on. The crazy thing about this is that I still have him on the stream.
Yep.
I'm going to have to do.
Me.
Yeah, I can hear you now sometimes, but you keep going in and out. I think what we're going to end up having to do is having to try to get one of the, probably like an engineer.
Okay, I'm back.
A separate server.
All right. All good. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Reggie. Appreciate it. Sorry, apologize for the technical problems. I don't know what's going on today with the system, but it's a mess. Here's an update. More than 1.2 million cases and over 71,000 COVID-19 related deaths have been recorded. There's a model that's out that they're using all this modeling, and it's forecasting that 134,000 people will die of COVID-19. Wow. That is really remarkable. It's being reported that the country's coronavirus task force will start to wind down later this month, according to a senior White House official. Really? Okay. At least 46 states have ordered or recommended school closures for the rest of the school year. This is, my goodness. We're going to have to, I guess we're going to have to figure out how to, what I've been doing for a couple of years. We have distance learning, and it can be very effective. It can be done. And many colleges and universities offer courses. I've taken even chemistry courses with distance learning. where, you're online. And it is doable. I don't know how long these schools are going to be closed. Are they going to open back up in the fall? I mean, these kids can't lose this much time. So we're going to have to figure out we're going to have to rethink, reevaluate, redesign how we educate children and then teenagers and others. But again, this distance learning model has been around for a long time, and I've been involved in it for quite a while. And it can be very effective when it's done properly. Lectures are on video, and it can be live. You can do that live, too, where the instructor, the professor, or the teacher, connects to the class, and it's a live video conference right in the classroom. It's just all that communication is mediated, of course. It's not face-to-face, mediated by technology, a piece of technology. But we're going to have to figure out how to do that better. There's going to be a lot of changes going forward. Our lifestyle, the way we live, a lot of things are going to change. And maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not necessarily a bad thing. Atlanta's mayor, headline, Atlanta mayor again asked residents to stay home, despite the governor of Georgia has issued a reopening order. This is interesting. You got politicians, government officials bumping up against one another. New York City deliberately shut down its subway system for the first time ever earlier today. The reason why they did that was to clean it, to disinfect it. They're trying to avoid the spread of the virus. A deep cleaning. Metropolitan Transportation, the MTA, deep cleaned to avoid the spread of coronavirus. Interesting. More than 20 million private sector jobs vanished last month. Wow. Unemployment. Farmers are still waiting for $19 billion in coronavirus aid. How long they're going to have to wait. We'll be back. We'll talk some more. Jim LaValle's our guest today in the second hour.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the store shelves nationwide. Hemp-derived cannabidiol, or CBD, has been receiving a lot of attention for its tremendous promise on human health. Plus, CBD Oil by CV Sciences is the trusted brand setting the standards in this newly emerging category of plant-based extracts, offering a variety of hemp-derived CBD oil products that you can count on. In order to make the highest quality CBD oil products available, it is important to manage every step of the supply chain process, from seed to shelf. That's why, from harvesting our EU-certified hemp seeds, to laboratory testing for quality and safety, to producing our exceptional line of products, we are committed to going the extra mile. It is our commitment to you. Join the CBD evolution. Ask your local natural health retailer about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today. Follow us on Facebook and learn more at pluscbdoil.com.
12.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Course, and we're doing it out of studio. I'm even getting feedback on the phone. Okay. There are a number of headlines. Katie, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'm trying to report this to you with all this echo in my head, but although the rate of infection shows no signs of slowing, the vice president yesterday announced that the task force, the coronavirus task force, could be dismantled in the next month. because, quote, of the tremendous progress we've made as a country, close quote. The European Union says its economy is expected to shrink by 7.4% this year. That's the continent's worst downturn since World War II. Wow, tremendous impact. Just the downstream effects of this pandemic is astounding. What about now? I've moved my phone away. Katie's communicating me by text.
It's kind of better. I
will
just
hang
can
up,
hear like
and
an
Katie's
echo.
going to tell you how to connect with the show. I'll call back.
You can give us a call at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. You can also go to letstalknutrition.com and go to the show schedule tab right at the top of the page, and it'll show you all the past shows. They're archived by date and title. You can also go to YouTube and watch the stream. We also share those over to Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, just search Let's Talk Nutrition, or on YouTube, search Let's Talk Nutrition. Either way, you'll get the same video stream. And you can listen to us wherever we listen to podcasts as well, which can be on iHeartRadio. There's a number of ways to listen to podcasts. So you can listen to us any way you do that. Doc, you there?
Here. How y'all? Not a lot of echo. The airways. Hello.
Keep going.
Okay, so do you have any echo? No. Okay, good enough. So these downstream effects are just devastating. For example, there's a women's prison in Louisiana. It's a women's prison facility. Almost every inmate in that prison has tested positive for the virus. And you have people in nursing homes, and you have people in confined areas. I mean, they're confined. You're in prison, and they get sick. I don't know. I mean, the unexpected events that are associated with this virus. So we're trying to figure it out. And every day, I haven't talked too much about it, past couple of days. Try to give it, some space. And I know many of you are listening and watching the news and getting to where you need to be. I would urge you to maintain your physical distancing, your sheltering in place, and just in spite of what the opening or reopening of the country. And what's interesting too, when you look at the survey data, even though some states are opening, quite a scores of them, people still don't want to go out. They're unwilling to go to restaurants. They don't want to go to movies. They want to stay home. They're concerned. So in spite of telling people, yes, we're reopening, survey, I mean, in large percentages, and it's not, not by any particular political affiliation either. People on both sides of the aisle are expressing their reluctance to get out into the world and resume, quote unquote, normal life. I'm with them. Open up whatever they want to open up. I know better, and I'm just saying I would be derelict in my responsibility as producer and host of this show not to share that idea. You may agree with it, you may not agree with it. That's not the point. I feel a responsibility to say, I do not think it's safe to go out and resume your normal activities as if somehow this has gone away. It has not. And it's going to be some time before it does. And it'll be interesting to see how our life changes, how our lifestyle will change. Will we be wearing masks for some time now? In Asian countries, wearing a mask has become fashionable. So that may go on for some time here too. And we'll have to wait and see how else our lifestyle changes. Or more people are going to be working from home. Many have found that they can work. Companies have found out that their employees, many can work just as well from home as they can from work. That's a more economical way in many ways for some of these companies. So the way we live, the way we work, the forms of entertainment that we engage in that involve others, we'll see. This is like a live experiment. We are the subjects of the experiment. Jim Lavelle is going to be our guest in the second hour today with Wampanoag of America. Jim's very good, and we'll chat with him, and he'll have a few ideas about how to nourish your body. And lest we forget, nutrition is a first-line defense. We'll be back. We'll talk some more.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all natural ingredients, Solace is not addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Have you experienced the wisdom of nature with Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter? Zyflamend is a 10-herb blend that delivers 3 health benefits. First, Zyflamend is an herbal approach to pain relief, helping to soothe minor pain or soreness. Second, Zyflamend is a joint supplement with time-tested herbs to support joint function and flexibility. And the third benefit, Zyflamend supports the body's healthy inflammation response, something that's essential for maintaining whole body health. Zyflamend is New Chapter's clinically tested blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, ginger, and green tea. Zyflamend is non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, and 100% vegetarian. New Chapter is a leader in supplement quality. Every ingredient, every product, every time. Discover Zyflamend, New Chapter's #1 selling multi-herbal. Zyflamend is made with ginger for occasional pain relief after exercise. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, vitamins, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good day wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. So I have all of these different sites and sources that I utilize to produce the show. And I go nearly every one. It's even hard to find a story or a study that is not somehow or in some way connected to this COVID-19 pandemic, coronavirus crisis. I mean, it has dominated all of the news. And you're hard pressed to find any type of news that moves beyond. Let me just give you a sample, just to give you a sense of where we are here. These are headlines. One source that I use, it's a very good source. And I was looking for a story that had nothing to do with coronavirus. I'd have a better chance of going to Vegas and winning at blackjack. Coronavirus updates. World's second largest continent sees 42% jump in cases. Sinclair Broadcast withdraws financial outlook as sports shutdown continues. Sinclair is a media company. The states where coronavirus cases are growing the fastest. I could click on that and share that with you. In 3 separate incidents, Russian doctors fall from hospital windows after coronavirus PPE complaints. It is kind of odd. Spain to avert political crisis, extend virus lockdown. Russian Minister of Culture tests positive for coronavirus. Forecasts predict EU's worst depression ever. European Union. Dallas salon owner, I presume, jailed for defying virus shutdown order. I saw them interview that. Maybe it's another guy, another person. What else? These are just headlines. Indian trains carry thousands of stranded workers home. Talk about India. China UN ambassador supports WHO project. I'm trying to find a story. There are no other stories. Other states may be reopening too quickly, according to Mayor de Blasio of New York City. Oh, here's a story that has nothing to do with the Supreme Court hears case on birth control coverage. Right? Baltimore area school nurses are helping departments track and contain the coronavirus. UK scientist who warned over virus quits for lockdown breach. And I heard, I didn't get a chance to research it. Some prominent researcher that was developing a vaccine, I think he was murdered. Saw that late last night. Was really late. Okay, so is David on the phone or no? No. David wants your opinion on distancing, sheltering. My opinion is this, David.
He's on the phone if you want to talk to him.
I do.
Okay. Sorry, I was on the phone if you said something to me.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Garko.
Hi,
how you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, we're okay here. Yeah, I wanted to be brief. I've been listening to some doctors say, hey, if you're really old and sick, definitely isolate yourself. Don't go out. But if you're healthy, go out there. Don't have don't have your rights taken away from you. Live life. Let your healthy immune system fight these viruses. Don't don't go over the top. So I'm a little, I understand I believe I'm a lot more conservative. I live in your camp much more, Dr. Garko. But then I hear these other people with these counter arguments, and then it gives me I'm just a little confused. I think also one of the reasons my confusion is that it appears that the death rates are being somewhat the comorbidities are factored in, and it's hard to determine who actually died from pure coronavirus versus if they died from other conditions. So that's what I'm confused about.
Okay, yeah. In terms of the underlying health conditions, a person can have comorbidities. David, a person could have heart disease. They could be diabetic. They could be obese. So those three conditions make them a candidate to become more likely to be infected, and usually that happens. They also make it more likely that the person will die. Now, the person could get infected with the virus and maybe have a heart attack or some other way of dying. But until the virus may not be directly implicated in the death, but once they got infected, they became compromised. Their respiratory system failed. Usually, if it's a respiratory failure, this is a respiratory illness, it's probably the virus. And those underlying comorbidities just make them more vulnerable. In terms of sheltering in place, physical distancing, I can speak for myself, and I try to say to the audience that I just think it's premature to abandon these strategies, these mitigation strategies right now. For me, I can't afford to take that risk. I get infected, I am not sure whether I can make it. That's the truth. Given my health, given my history, it's not that I'm unhealthy, but given my age, I have all of the variables. I mean, I'm trained as a social scientist, so I look at the data, and the data tell me. I say to myself, buddy, talking to myself, buddy, you better be careful. So that's where I'm at. If I had children, would I send my kids off to school right now? I don't think so. I wouldn't. That's just me. I'd teach them at home, or we would do some sort of distance learning somehow. But I appreciate your call. We're headed out of this hour. Jim Lavelle will be our guest in the second hour. These are great calls, and we appreciate your view. We'll be back.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. For more information, go online to StraussNaturals.com. You can purchase Strauss Heart Drops at fine health stores or on Amazon. I promise you won't be sorry.
This is Dr. Michael Garko from Let's Talk Nutrition. Fractures caused by osteoporosis occur every 15 seconds, with 50% of women and 20% of men over the age of 50 suffering a bone fracture. First Creation Bone Health with Perculife contains a clinically tested and proven formula to increase bone density. Bone Health with Perculife contains calcium, vitamin K2, vitamin D, and Perculife curcumin, a patented and clinically tested form of turmeric. Calcium helps keep your bones strong. Vitamin D and vitamin K2 together help with calcium absorption, leading to the strengthening of your bones. And finally, Perculife curcumin, a highly absorbable form of turmeric, reduces inflammation and increases joint flexibility, allowing you to move and be more active. Go to bone50.com and order Bone Health with Perculife. That's bone50.com. Take charge of your bone health and protect against osteoporosis with Bone Health with Perculife.
The proceeding was...
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garca, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garco. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning into this second hour of the show. Jim Laval is our guest today. He's an educator with Wakunaga of America. I've known Jim quite a while, and you will find him to be very insightful and helpful. And I'm curious to see, he lives in California, how things are going in his neck of the woods. So I'm going to bring him on right away. James, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on. Jim.
Hello.
Hey,
how are you? I'm doing well.
Good. We have a little bit of a delay, so we'll just have to work with that because I'm out of studio. I'm working at home. So you're doing well. You're safe. Are you going to work, or are you working from home? What are you doing, Jim?
Well, I'm going into my office, but it's a closed office. I mean, we have patients that need their either medications and or the nutrients for the programs that we're on to keep them healthy. You know, and since comorbidity issues like, hypertension and diabetes and being obese and having chronic inflammatory conditions kind of put you at risk, it's really important, I think, for people to stay on programs that we've worked with on them. But the office is, we're not having people come into the office. We're doing all telehealth visits with them. And then the rest of the time I'm at home. I have an 89-year-old father that lives with me, so we're being very careful about, where we go and what we're doing.
He is vulnerable, as we all are, but initially we thought just the elderly are vulnerable. That turned out not to be the case. Not just the elderly with underlying conditions. So you're doing telemedicine. Explain to the listener, I think this is interesting, that I was just commenting on, we may change a lot of the things that we used to do to a more technological way. Education, doing distance learning, telemedicine. Explain how that works for you and what that is about.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's been great. I mean, whether it's been, having a meeting with a person on over a Zoom meeting where you get to see their face, they get to see yours. I'm not finding that it's actually a little more efficient. I mean, there's some things you just can't escape when people are right in front of you. You can see their color better. If my doc or my nurse practitioner is doing a physical exam, even though there's even some technology that you can do to help that. So I do like being able to have people, but at the same time, I've worked with people all over the world for the last, 25, 30 years. And so it really wasn't very hard for me to jump in and say, okay, we're going to run the whole practice by this.
it created a change in procedure for the whole office because now people aren't walking in the door. Now we have to do everything virtually, but it works out quite well. I mean, you see each other, and I can ask questions, and they get to see me. They can see that I'm paying attention to them. More importantly, I just did a webinar, did 2 webinars in the last 3 weeks. Had 900 doctors on one and 380 doctors on the other, so that reaching out and doing education via the web, it really works well. I've been doing that quite a bit over the last several years, and I think that it's an effective way for people. Because you know what, we don't, it gets hard if you're going to a lot of events. It's expensive, and you can save some time, save some money, and sometimes be able to even maybe have a little time for your family, which I think is what we're learning right now is pretty valuable. So I think it's kind of good.
877-897-8255. Speaking with Jim Laval. Known Jim, as I said, quite a while. And I what you just described, your own experience, your narrative, how you're handling your clients, your patients at the office, and doing the telemedicine, and also doing your webinars, educating others, 900 people at a time on a webinar, or 300. I just did a webinar with several hundred people about 2 weeks ago. And it's amazing. All that being said, and this is probably my bias, I get the teleconferencing, the telemedicine, the online learning. I'm involved in that right now, have been for 2 years. There's something about face-to-face interaction, that kind of communication. Sometimes in the field of communication, that's called dyadic communication, where you're actually face-to-face. It's not mediated. Nothing in between you and the other. There's no piece of technology. That does, when you compare that, although you just said that the telemedicine seems to work very nicely, do you believe for you there's a qualitative difference between face-to-face interaction and the mediated form of communication with telemedicine?
Oh, I definitely think that I prefer being face-to-face. I mean, whether I'm doing a presentation live, because I think I draw energy from the crowd, and it kind of feeds. There's something that's there that, I mean, I can emote and can make a video exciting or get on and do a webinar and make it pretty exciting. But there's just something about live where humans are in the same room and we're connecting. I hope we never lose that, because we're social beings. And, I think that there is a difference. And I think that it could actually even be very healing in certain situations where, we're together and we're discussing things, or whatever the situation is, whether it's even for grieving, right? I think it's important that we don't lose that. But at the same time, I do understand kind of what's happening right now, and I think maybe it'll make us appreciate our communication with others in the future.
I hope so. Yeah, the face-to-face. You said you were social beings. There is a whole, in the field of communication, there's a whole body of work, theoretical work, empirical work. We're talking about the social construction of reality. We are not only social beings, we are in many ways socially constructed through communication, through interaction, through that contact. And what, in many ways humanizes us. It's what connects us. It is what gives a lot of meaning to our life, being in the presence of another. Right now, what I see, I'm looking at an image of sitting there, and it's a still image, and your arms are folded. If we were both in studio right now, the quality of our interaction would be noticeably different. I get that all the time.
Of
People
course.
will write to me. They'll
That's
say
right.
when the guest is in studio, it's different, but we're trying to make the best of it, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think for those of us that I've watched people. Look, you can freak out and go buy an extra 6-pack, or you can make the best of this, and really try to understand where you're at, how you interact with others, what's meaningful to you, and when we get back to some state of normalcy, start to really act on what you pondered during this time, right? I mean, that's what I try to get across to people. I have a lot of my patients say, you know what, this is the best thing that ever happened to me, because now I'm focusing on my health instead of the million little things I used to fill my day with, and I'm actually getting traction on the things you wanted me to do.
And we'll be right back.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is not addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Jim LaValle is our guest today. Nice having him on. Appropriate guest for this time, period of time that we're going through. I'm just curious, James. You mentioned that you did a webinar. You had 900 doctors on that webinar. May I ask what that webinar was about? What was the purpose of that webinar? What was your essential thesis or your objective and thesis?
Sure. So it was several of us that were training docs through A4M on COVID-19, and what's the current status. What are the drug therapies that were being considered? What IV therapies were being considered? My role was what nutrients people should be considering, and also the thought that we really need to start thinking about this concept called metaflammation, which is in the clinical literature now, or in the abbreviated for metabolic inflammation. So when you have diabetes, you have the equivalent of a low-grade infection going on in your body all the time. Same thing if you're obese. So the more we have these kind of processes going on in our body, it creates vulnerability. And so I think it's important for people to understand, look, you got to start taking care of yourself. You do have to try and see how you can empower yourself. Yeah, it's work, but it's worth it. Because whether it's COVID-19 or it's another bug, you got to, or it's something else. Maybe you get in an accident. It could be any number of things. The better health you're in, the better you're going to be resilient.
Sure.
You're going to have better metabolic reserve, and you're going to be able to withstand the challenge that's going to occur.
A couple of things. One, you could tell the audience members what A4M is, and what were the protocols that you told these doctors they need to consider to keep their patients healthy? What does A4M mean in
Sure.
that latter?
Sure. A4M is the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, and it's about, globally, about 24,000 doctors are members. We've got about 9,000 fellows that we've trained in anti-aging medicine and regenerative medicine. And then what I was talking to them about, look, there's basic things everybody knows. Vitamin A is really important. If you looked at the New York data, where they looked at vitamin D status in blood samples of people on ventilators, only 3% of people that had adequate vitamin D needed to go to ventilators, whereas I think over 30% that had deficient vitamin D failed on their ventilators. So just things like get vitamin A in, have vitamin D. Probably one of the things we talk about all the time, Michael, is aged garlic extract. Aged garlic extract is a great preventative because it lowers your inflammatory threshold, right? It lowers interleukin-6, it lowers TNF-alpha. It has that kind of effect on turning back metabolic inflammation in your body, and it's been shown to reduce incidence and duration of at least influenza virus in the elderly. So we know it has some benefit there. So there's things like aged garlic extract that I'd say, look, this is a preventative measure that people should start getting on. Being on a good probiotic, it absolutely makes a difference in terms of fighting off viruses. That's been shown in human studies. And then you can turn to things like, you want to be on thymus extract. Thymus extract helps your T killer cells. Probably one of the best interesting ones that has come out is nicotinamide riboside. And nicotinamide riboside, which is a derivative of niacin, actually is being studied in NIH, and there's a couple papers coming out on it for COVID because it's not a cure. And once again, people, everybody wants to go, what's the cure? Because we don't have a cure. We have, I think, some rationale like using, look, there's doctors that are swearing by hydroxychloroquine and zinc. There's doctors that are swearing by Zanavir. In those drug therapies, I can understand the rationale. Why nicotinamide riboside is interesting is when you get an infection, you upregulate something within your cell that are called PARP, and basically, it sucks the energy out of your cell, and you need more NAD to make energy, and that's what nicotinamide riboside does, and it really helps people to not progress into as much damage in their tissue. That's preliminary trial work.
I want to back you up a little bit. We have a caller. Let's take the call out of Tampa. Bill, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Doctor. Yeah, your guess is absolutely correct on the energy and the cells. And another thing, way we can add energy to the cells, I hate to break it to everybody, but it's the same thing that will lengthen your life. It will lower your liver enzymes. It will help if you've got kidney disease. It's called limiting your food intake. I mean, if it was a drug, it would be, as your guest knows, when you come out with a new drug and you get a 5 or 10% a move in whatever direction you're headed for, I mean, it's a miracle drug. Yet, in every single disease process, I don't care if it's lung cancer, if you lower your caloric intake even 25%, you'll get a 25 to 40% increase in your natural killers. Anyway, I can't go into that. But the reason I called, I wanted to report on the situation of the Gulf beaches, which is 40 miles of beaches and off of Florida here on the west coast, Tampa. It was absolutely the most irresponsible thing that I've ever seen yesterday. There was thousands upon thousands of people, and they were congregating. They were acting as if there was absolutely nothing was going on, and it was irresponsible behavior, to say the least.
Unbelievable. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I appreciate you sharing that, and I appreciate your other comments as well. When we come back, we'll talk with Jim Lavelle more. I have a lot of questions for him. He mentioned some nutrients. I want to break those down and make sure we understand what those are, how much, and when. We'll be back.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garka, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. My guest today is Jim Lavelle, educator for Wakunaga of America, makers of Kyolic Age Garlic Extract. James, you mentioned that in your webinar with 900 or more doctors not too long ago, you were talking to them about, it sounds like, sharing with them from a nutrient, from a nutrition standpoint, what can they tell their patients to better defend against the virus. Do I have that part right, yes or no?
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Okay. You mentioned vitamin A and vitamin E. So it turns out that those are fat-soluble vitamins. You know the vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. Did you talk about the whole constellation of fat-soluble vitamins to better, prepare the body or help the body defend against COVID-19, coronavirus, or just vitamin A and vitamin E?
No, I didn't talk about all of them only because of the sake of time, but the thought of, people are deficient in fat soluble vitamins in general. Nobody takes vitamin A. I rarely see somebody with adequate vitamin D levels when they come into our office. people were told now, oh, don't take too much vitamin E. And of course, it matters the kind of vitamin E. Better off with natural tocopherols, so a mixed tocopherol that's natural. And vitamin A should be retinol palmitate, not from beta carotene. So these are all things that are important for both consumers and docs to understand. Because I think a lot of times there's still this misunderstanding that, oh my God, you're going to get toxic if you take a little bit of vitamin A, which I think is has led into these deficiency states.
So you're saying to the audience that taking the fat-soluble vitamins would be A deck, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K
Right.
would be a useful strategy or tactic. Strategy would be to take supplements to support your system generally, your immune system maybe specifically, but those fat-soluble vitamins you think would be an important tactic in supplementation.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's right.
You mentioned a
Well,
probiotic.
and vitamin C. And
what's
vitamin C,
the-
right?
Yeah. Probiotic. What would be the design here? How will the probiotics help people do better, limit the risk of getting infected, or once infected to recover or to fight the battle? What do probiotics do? In a word.
Well, the biggest thing probiotics do is they help to modulate your immune system in your gut. And they decrease inflammatory response in your gut. So even in the flu model, where they showed a 34% reduction in symptoms, a 2% reduction in the amount of days with flu, and a reduction in incidence, the reason behind it is that your beneficial flora actually act as somewhat as directors of your immune system, with 70% of your immune system in your gut. You got to remember, 25% of all drugs on the market actually alter the microbiome. One of the biggest drugs used in diabetes, metformin, alters the microbiome. So you taking probiotics because most people are on either taking acid blocking medications or on a myriad of different drug therapies that can affect the microbiome, and their diet is off, and they eat too much. To our calling person, I talk about time restricted eating and fasting mimicry all the time.
Sure.
In my seminars, and there's a lot of factors that throw off the microbiome.
Sure.
And
Sure.
environmental burden,
does-
glyphosate, right? There's all kinds of things that do that.
Does Waukanaga of America, Kyolic, make a probiotic?
They got a great probiotic. They have one called the Friendly Trio, Chiodophilus. They have a whole family of probiotics, actually. But I mean, Waukanaga has been making a stable, like room temperature stable, guaranteed to the date of expiration, human trials on the product, which I love, that they're dedicated to the science of studying their natural products they put out. It shows that it helps with GI health, it helps with cold and flu, it helps with regulation of cholesterol and lipids. And so that, you can get any of the family. There's Chiodophilus, there's Chiodophilus with enzymes. They have a max out now that's 50 billion unit CFUs. So I think it's an invaluable, product. It works.
Yeah, probably a lot.
Once
And,
again,
we haven't talked about that constellation of probiotics from Waukanaga of America. It's called Chiodophilus, and there's Chiodophilus with enzymes, and there's Max Chiodophilus. They have been developing those probiotics for decades and decades, haven't they? They've been growing those
50
probiotics.
years.
I meant,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it's just like their green drinks. It's just like their green drinks. They were at the front. I call them a heritage brand because they were at the forefront of all this stuff 40 years ago. When everybody was thinking it was crazy to take probiotics. And what do you mean you're taking aged garlic extract? What are you talking about, right? And then they just keep publishing the data, more and more prestigious human trials. latest trials on Kyolic, for example, being effective in gingivitis. Really important. So, I think it's
did you say 100
they've
years
got another
they've been
product
developing?
nobody really talks about. It's Magicare.
Did you say 100 years they've been growing those bacteria?
Oh, I'm not sure how long, but I think it's pretty close to 100
Decades.
years. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a long
yeah.
time. They've been making
All right, so this is-
probiotics in the U.S. a good 40 years.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of people know Kyolic. They're thinking of AGE, age garlic extract. It turns out that Wampanoag of America makes a powerful green drink. Will give you what is the name of that drink?
Kyo greens.
There
You know
go.
the translation of Kyo?
Is?
Kyo is strong. So what Kyolic is talking about now is Kyo Life or Strong Life. So they're making these great ingredients that we can take to strengthen ourselves. The Kyo Greens Harvest Blend, all very, very powerful. Non-GMO, vegan friendly, organic. The attention to detail in their manufacturing is incredible.
Sure.
And that's why they can publish studies on their ingredients.
All right, we're headed into some messages. We'll be back. We'll talk some more with Jim Lavelle. These are great recommendations. We'll review and get you into the right place. We'll be right back.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The heart drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. For more information, go online to StraussNaturals.com. You can purchase Strauss Heart Drops at fine health stores or on Amazon. I promise you won't be sorry.
Ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products. Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
Nutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
And here's the LTN health question of the day. Listening to Jim Lavelle today, he mentioned fat-soluble vitamins. He mentioned a couple of them. And then I went on to ask him, was he intending also to say that the other fat-soluble vitamins would be something to consider especially during this time of the coronavirus crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic? Here's the question. Which of the following is not a fat-soluble vitamin? Is not a fat-soluble vitamin. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, or vitamin E? Which one of those is not a fat-soluble vitamin? Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, or vitamin E? Here's the number to call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Oh, looking up there, Katie. That looks like something a modern artist would have designed. Oh, it's good. It looks like it came out of the Museum of Modern Art. Very nice. There you go. Colorful Katie.
That's my bow.
All right, James. Let's see if we can help this audience. Let's put a protocol together. I'll put you on the spot. Given just what you mentioned today, you mentioned the fat-soluble vitamins, AGE, probiotics, so on, greens. Put a little protocol together for the audience. What would you say would be a nice protocol?
Is get on a good fat-soluble vitamin. You can either get a multi or you can go for just a fat-soluble vitamin. They have them where they're combined. That's good. The next one is get on aged garlic extract, and you can either use the immune complex, Formula 103, or you can get the reserve, and you can do 2 capsules a day of the reserve or 4 capsules a day of the immune complex. I really like the Thiodophilus, so you can do 2 capsules of that. You can get the daily Thiodophilus daily. And then they have a product called Magicare, which is really good. That is an immunomodulator, so it helps keep your immune system in balance. You could do 3 capsules a day of that. And then after that, I really think that looking
What
at
about
things
the
like nicotinamide
greens?
riboside,
What about that?
vitamin
What about that?
C.
What about that greens product?
Oh, the greens product's great. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. I mean, I like that because most people still aren't eating enough greens. They're not getting to the grocery like they could, and so therefore they're eating a lot more packaged food, unfortunately. So getting that greens product in, I mean, personally, I drink it twice a day. But even if they got it in once a day, one serving once a day would be great for them because it provides a lot of micronutrients.
Yeah, it's called Kyo Green. Let's go to Maine, and real quick, we'll talk to Ava for about a half a minute. We're almost out of time. Ava, welcome to the show. I presume you're doing well.
I am Dr. Garko. I'm looking upon a lighthouse by the ocean, all by myself. Our little town is not opening beaches. We're too close to New Hampshire and Massachusetts. We're working together. And I don't know what this vacation land is, what we call our state, is going to look like. No vacation land 2020 for tourists this year. It's really looking dismal. But I just was curious, and you can speak to this at another segment. If we're the experiment, then the virus is going to be around for a while. The thought pattern of let it just spread naturally amongst the varying states and populations as it normally would. Because the social and economic impact, the general population, could be really difficult, overwhelming.
Okay. I don't mean to cut you off, but we're almost out of time. I'll address that real quickly. You're talking about herd immunity that's established in 2 ways, either through vaccine or through letting the virus take its natural course and letting it affect people. If the people of the country are willing to have high infection rates, I'm talking not hundreds of thousands, maybe millions, over 1 million, and maybe 1 million people dying, if we're all comfortable with that, then that's what you do. You're going to have more infections. You're going to have more people dying. That's what you're going to experience. We're in a dilemma. I don't know what the true answer is, but that's a very quick, dirty answer to your question. We're almost out of time. Call back tomorrow. I'll have a call when I have more time, and I'll talk to you more about that. I appreciate your view, though. This is the, you have the economic reality, and then you have people's lives. What do we do? Jim, always appreciate having you on the show. So the fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K, you can sometimes get those together. Aged garlic extract would be part of the protocol. The Chiodophilus, the probiotic, would be part of that protocol. And then the Kyo Greens, which is great because it has multiple micronutrients. Moducare for immune system, and I know you were going to mention NAD, nicotinamide riboside. You were going to mention that, but that's a pretty big protocol. But people can pick and choose, right?
That's exactly right.
All right, man. You take care of yourself. You talk to Jay Levy, others at Wakanaga. Tell him I send my best. If you talk to Jay, tell him I think about him often. And I hope he's doing well, he and his family. You stay safe.
I sure
I know
will.
you will.
You stay well, Michael. You're doing a great job. Great service for people.
Trying. Well, you just contributed to that effort today. It's important to have people on such as you. You have a lot of clinical experience. You see, you're in the trench every day, and you're helping a lot of people, and you help a lot of doctors help people. That's a wonderful career. You live with a purpose. We appreciate you, and we appreciate the service that you do, James. I think a lot of you. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you for tuning in today. I think about all of you. I don't know all of you, but I think about the audience all the time. How can we educate? This is a learning space. LTN is a learning space. I love you. Your health is your wealth.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the store shelves nationwide.